Okay, new feature. I'm gonna try and do every Monday, recapping the weekend's box office because it doesn't really matter, but it's interesting to track it and see the ebbs and flows and the trends and what's happening in Hollywood and how they are or are not responding to how you are voting with your money. So I'm going to go from 10 to 9 through the box office, talk about the films a little bit. Number 10 being the live action version of The Little Mermaid. Disney is making live action versions of all of these properties. I believe it's just so they can, a couple of reasons. They can retain the rights for the copyright. I think that's an easy way. I could be wrong. But another way is then they don't have to pay the writers um, because it's already written, I guess, to save money, and because they can just make these things and put them out in theaters and people will still go see them. So far, maybe. Have any of them been good? Comparably good to the others? Anyways, so Little Mermaid made $695,000 over the weekend. It's been in, I think, the box office for 9 weeks, total of $296 million it's made so far. But it had a $250 million budget. So it has exceeded its budget. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hit, but does that matter to Disney? Maybe they should share some of the profits with the screen actors. Number 9 is the Transformers Rise of the Beasts. This one made $1 million at the box office. It's been in for 7 weeks, total of 155 million. Had a $200 million budget. So Transformers looks like it's not going to break even. Depends who we are. Maybe that's a good thing. Number 8 was the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse film, one of the best films that I've seen in the theater so far this year. It made $2.8 million at the box office, been out for 8 weeks, total of $375 million, and a budget of $100 million. Again, they should pay those animators more and give them more time to make the next one. I suspect the next one won't be out in March, like they say, but yeah, you can't hurry art, can you? I don't know. It depends where we are. Number 7 is Elemental. Made $5.7 million. Pixar movie. It's kind of slowly chugging along. It initially came out, didn't make a lot of money. Um, but it's been kind of consistent. People are finding it word of mouth. It's been out for 6 weeks, $137 million altogether, but that was against a $200 million budget. So it's funny when the Elemental came out, I think, and it wasn't a big success. Is when Disney Pixar was like, "Oh, we got a new Toy Story coming out," which is like a trend that they seem to do every time one of these new movies comes out, one of these original movies comes out, and it's not a success. They're like, "Oh, well, we got another one of the thing you do like." I think it was a big hit though in South Korea, so that's cool. Number 6. It is the Insidious, the Red Door, $6.6 million it made. It's been out for 3 weeks. Has made $71 million at the box office, and it had a $16 million budget. So horror. Why aren't more studios doing this with horror? Horror, almost every time you can make a $16 million horror film, and so far $71 million over 3 weeks. Um, Bloomhouse and some of these studios that are doing this for a reason. They just keep doing it again and again. The bigger studios aren't paying attention, I guess, or they make a horror movie and they pump way too much money into it. Let's continue on. Number 5 was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Another Indiana Jones film. What's the best Indiana Jones film? I don't know. Is it the one that doesn't have Indiana Jones in the title? It made, I think, 6.5 or $6.6 million, which is the same that Insidious made. Sorry, I don't know if I said that. 6.6. It made roughly a little bit more, $6.6 million. It's been out for 4 weeks. Total so far for Indiana Jones is $158 million, which, depending on the movie, might not be bad. But since it had somewhere of a budget from $300 to $400 million when you factor in advertising and everything, it's not good. It's not good. And we'll see in some of these numbers that you don't have to spend that much money on a movie. Don't. Not to make money. Okay, let's move on. So number 4 is the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Like all these sequels have to have these names. Dead Reckoning, Dial of Destiny, The Red Door. So Dead Reckoning made $19 million. It's been out for roughly 2 weeks, $118 million overall, but it had a $291 million budget, which is a little bit surprising. I don't know, maybe everybody was saving their money for Barbenheimer. They're taking, maybe Dead Reckoning should have been released 2 weeks earlier, or 4 weeks later. Who knows? I don't market films. Next up is number 3, Sound of Freedom. $19 million, been out for 3 weeks, $124 million altogether, $14.5 million budget. There are people that will go see a film like this. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on Sound of Freedom. I'm not going to go into that territory. Number 2, Oppenheimer, $82 million. It just opened, so it's made $82 million. Had a $100 million budget, so it's going to recoup its budget. It's going to make a bit of a profit. Christopher Nolan film. So there we go. You see, you don't have to spend $300 to $400 million to make a movie like this. Oppenheimer is only a $100 million budget. Okay, and then number 1, it's your girl, Barbie, $162 million. Just opened up. So of course it's $162 million. Budget was about $145 million. So it made up its budget in the opening weekend. I think it's currently global box office for the entire year of 2023. It's sitting at number 11. And that's just in the first week. So it'll most likely, even if it makes only half of that in the next week, we'll bring it to around 5th or 6th global box office. So Barbie, there you go. Who knows how much more it's going to make over its $145 million budget, but probably quite a lot. Go Greta Gerwig. At least we can maybe say films directed by women don't make money anymore is a false, right? Thank you for watching this. If you watched all of it, like, subscribe,